Hello and welcome to 2026. I'm excited about today's video because I'm going to talk about one of the things I'm most excited about this year, and that is a big update in the Google Ads world that has actually already rolled out nationwide, at least for people here in the US, and if you're in another country, it'll most likely roll out for you as well. And I'm talking about ads in the AI overview section for Google Ads. This is a really big change. I think it's going to really do positive things for our campaigns moving forward. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down. All right, before we move on, we need to all make sure that we're on the same page in terms of what is the Google AI overview. So historically, the way that search results worked is that you would go in there and you'd type something in like plumber near me, and you would get some ads at the very top of your search results, and then afterwards would be your organic search results. That's the way it's been for 20 plus years, roughly speaking. But then all this AI stuff started coming out in 2020 and 2021, really, is where things really blew up from an AI standpoint. And then platforms like Perplexity came around and really shifted the way that people search. I'm still a heavy Perplexity user. I love it a lot. But if you don't know what that platform is, that you put in your search right there, and as opposed to giving you links, it just gives you an answer, right? It's not going to go into this link and that link, which is very difficult. It is actually a very time-consuming part of any type of search and research process, right? So if you're a homeowner and you say, how to replace kitchen sink because you're trying to DIY this, you'd have to click on this link and that link and read what it says. Oh, this is not exactly what I'm looking for, and then you click back. And so it's just really a slow process and tedious process that a lot of people dread doing. But what platforms like Perplexity did is that they just gave you an answer, right? How to replace my kitchen sink, and then boom, it would give you an actual answer tutorial step by step on how to replace your kitchen sink without the need to actually click on each individual link. Now, that being said, with Perplexity, they have a really neat feature where if you're uncertain as to the answer that it's giving you, is that actually true? Do I really actually need to do this step? You can click on the link where they're getting the information from, or you can just read the summary, right? So very seamless process. And so this was taking search away from Google. So then they introduced their AI overview. You've probably seen this if you've done any Google search for the last 2 years or however long it's been that they've been providing these AI overviews. And it's a similar experience where you put in your search query and the first thing that comes up is an explanation from AI. So let's go ahead, let me share my screen and we'll take a look at this. So I just typed in Google Ads in AI overview and it gave me the AI overview right here. So actually, normally this was unique simply because normally the AI overview comes first, but I think because this is for Google specific, they want their link to be at the very top, which is not surprising. But in 99% of cases, the AI overview will be first. So then here it says Google Ads in AI overviews integrates paid ads like text and shopping ads directly into our around AI generated search summaries for relevant queries using existing campaigns, search, PMax, shopping, app, and auction systems, but adding context based on the overview's content. So right there, we already see a really key component of these ads that are appearing in the AI overviews, which is we don't need to create a separate campaign for this. All the campaigns we currently have, search, PMax, shopping, whatever it might be, they're all automatically eligible to have ads appear in the AI overview, which is great. I think from an advertiser perspective, we don't have to worry about another campaign that we have to manage out there. Now, will there be the opportunity to create a dedicated AI overview ads campaign? I don't know, to be 100% honest. I don't have any insider knowledge. I would be surprised if we did, simply because with the way Google has gone and how much they push Performance Max, which, by the way, if you don't know anything about Performance Max, I've got this video right here that you should definitely check out that really summarizes everything you need to know about Performance Max. But in a nutshell, it's just an all-in-one campaign, and they really like to push advertisers towards that. So since they have this all-in-one approach and mindset lately, I'd be surprised if they released an option to just do only AI overview ads. But then again, I could be wrong. It could be neat if they provided that option. option in the future. But as of right now, it's simple. Everything that we have will automatically be eligible to appear in the Google Ads AI overview. Real quick, before we go any deeper into this exciting update from Google Ads, I wanted to let you know that if you're hearing all this and you're saying, hey, great, however, I still don't want to manage ads myself, guess what? You are in luck. My team and I, we are currently taking on clients, whether you're a small business on a small budget or a large business on a big budget. We have all sorts of packages that make sense and fit where you are at with your current business journey. I have a link in the description below. Go ahead and click on that. We'll hop on a Zoom call one-on-one, see where you're at, and see if there's any way my team and I can help. And if so, we'll move forward. And if not, I'll be very honest and say we simply can't help. We never try to push people towards something they do not want. So once again, I'll have that link in the description below. All right, so now let's take a look at what the official Google page says. Best practices for ads and AI overviews. AI overviews trigger on complex answer-seeking queries, and advertisers are less likely to be targeting such keywords. Ads in AI overview are matched to our understanding of their user intent based on not just the query the user input, but also the content of the AI overview. This is why Google requires AI-powered targeting solutions like broad match or search, the keywordless targeting technology available through AI Max for search campaigns, Performance Max campaigns, shopping campaigns, or dynamic search ads to match relevant ads. All right, so let's cut through the technical jargon there. What actually are they saying? There's very important things that they are saying right there. First and foremost, the eligibility to actually show up in the AI overview with an ad, it's not entirely dependent on just your query alone. It's dependent on the actual answer that they get and whether an ad fits naturally into that answer. So for example, if you type in plumber near me, you're actually first and foremost probably not going to get an AI overview. You're just going to get ads directly. But if you type in something like plumbing issue with my toilet, it's going to give you an AI overview most likely than not. And then if it makes sense based upon your past search queries, whether you're someone that they deem would hire someone for this based upon all of your search history and Gmail history and everything that they know about you, they may say, okay, cool, here's the instructions on how to fix your toilet. However, if you want to hire a local plumber, here are some options for you. So that's how it's going to. The second important thing here is that it's going to be a lot less kind of direct matching with your keyword to an ad, which is why they're going to recommend broad keywords moving forward, because especially with the ability to do voice to text or voice to search, the types of queries that people type in are so much more complex these days than they were before, right? So the whole plumber near me thing, that was a really big popular search query 10, 15 years ago. But today someone might type in or speak to text, they'll say something like, plumber that specializes in this brand of toilets that has reasonable pricing, right? For us as advertisers, we're never going to create a keyword or come up with a keyword that will actually capture that, which is why broad match is something that they're pushing a lot when it comes to eligibility of having these ads show up in the AI overview. Now, when it comes to broad match, I've usually never been a fan of broad match simply because it would cast the widest net. So the example I always used to like to give is that if you're in the wine space and you're selling wine and you're using broad match, it's also going to get in front of beer search terms and whiskey search terms and vodka search terms because they're all under this umbrella of alcohol, and so it just fits into the umbrella of broad match, which oftentimes doesn't make sense if you're strictly selling wine. Why are you coming up for search terms for beer and vodka? It just doesn't make sense. So for the longest time, I have not been a fan of broad match, but with the way these AI ads or ads and AI overviews work, I actually do think pushing more towards broad match is going to make a lot more sense moving forward. All right, now let's go and cover some frequently asked questions for the AI overview. Again, this is from the official Google page right here. So what are the performance insights in ads and AI overviews? Google internal data shows that people have been finding the ads within AI overviews helpful because they can quickly connect with relevant businesses. Maybe that's true, maybe not. I don't think they would ever release something that says, hey, actually people really hate these, but we're going to launch them anyway. But at the same time, it'll show you an example of what this looks like. I can see a world where people might find them to be beneficial. I, as an advertiser, am personally excited about them. So will ads and AI overviews be considered top ads? Yes, they will. How does Google determine when ads show above or below the AI overview? They use existing signals and systems to make the decisions. And then can I target ads only to serve within the AI overviews? This goes back back to what I was referring to previously, no, you can't directly do that. These appear in all of the existing campaigns. Can I opt out? I don't know why you would want to do this, but no, you cannot opt out right there. And will I get segmented reporting when my ads serve within AI overviews? Currently, they are not offering segmented reporting, but I would find it very hard to believe that this doesn't get released at some point in the future. We saw the same thing with Performance Max. You do it and it just wouldn't give you the breakdown on how is it performing in search versus YouTube versus Gmail, all kind of stuff. But now we do have that type of reporting. And so I foresee that we're going to see a very similar development when it comes to the ads in the AI overview. So some important things to note is that it's not surprising that Google is doing this, because again, going back to my history on search the way it was before, and then when Perplexity came around and when they introduced the overview, the AI overview in their search results, what all happened here is that Google actually lost a lot of opportunity for their revenue, right? Because 95%, if not more, of all of their revenue, the billions of dollars that they generate are generated through search ads. And so when the AI overview came, that pushed the search ads down. And so we as advertisers actually lost clicks, we lost revenue, we lost opportunity to get in front of people. And so it really hurt. But obviously, of course, Google isn't going to be in a state where forever and ever they're just going to generate fewer impressions, fewer clicks, less revenue, all that kind of stuff. They were always going to do something. And here, this is their way of recapturing a lot of the lost search opportunities that we used to have. And so it's an exciting thing for both advertisers, and I do think from a consumer standpoint, one last thing I want to share here is that we see an example here from search engine land what the ads in the AI overview look like. So I know this image is a little bit blurry, but the search query is best bed sheets by size compared. We see the AI overview. It's recommending measure your mattress, consider your sleep style, read reviews before purchasing, blah, 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 take time to read reviews. And it says, here are some sheets to consider. And so it's just a very natural, less interruptive way, right? If we think of search results, the traditional search results, right? You put in your query and be like, boom, ad. But here, right, you're getting value, you're getting advice, and then very casually, very low key, it says here are some sheets to consider, right? Like it's very soft selling right there, less pushy, less salesy. So I really do think that this is going to be a huge benefit, not for only for advertisers, but it's actually also going to provide a better experience for people on the receiving end of the search. All right, so there you have it. That's my breakdown for ads in AI overview for Google. This is one of the things I'm most excited for in 2026. I think it's going to really open up a lot of great opportunities for all the parties involved. But as always, if you have any questions about this or anything else I covered in the video, just hit me up in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.